Engineering student L. Brian Springer has a high-paying summer job as a forklift operator. This job enables him to attend college without having to take out any student loans. He was now staring at a 50-gallon drum filled with used machine coolant, wondering what he should do. Just moments ago, Brian's supervisor, Max Morrison, told him to dump half of the used coolant down the drain. Brian knows the coolant was toxic, and he mentioned this to Max, but Max was not swayed.
The toxins settle at the bottom of the drum. If you pour half out and dilute it with water, it'll be fine.
I don't think that's gonna work. Isn't it against the law?
Look, kid, I don't have time for a bunch of little silly laws. If I spent my time worrying about every single little regulation that came about, I'd never get anything done, and neither will you. We've been doing this for years and nothing's happened.
No one's ever said anything about it? That doesn't mean the environment's not being harmed.
You're not one of those environmentalists, are you? You college guys spend way too much in your ivory tower, and it's time to get real and get with the job.
But
time to get off yours and do the job. You know, you're very lucky to have this job. In 3 months, you'll be back in your cozy college. And you know how many other college kids wish they had a good paying job like this? How many don't know if they'll be able to afford if they can go back and we give an eye and a tooth to be where you're standing? Just do the job, man.
As Brian returns home, he relaxes and turns on the news.
In tonight's news, a new study has come out linking the disproportionate amount of genetic mutations in the area to coolant in the drinking water. The Anastasio Chemical Company has reportedly been dumping its waste into local water systems for decades. We have with us Dr. Doctor, who is a specialist that has been consulted for the recent spikes in mutations in our county. Dr. Doctor, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
So, what can you tell us about the recent pandemic that our county is facing?
So a patented chemical Anastasian has been detected in alarming amounts in the water treatment facilities around the city. The chemical has like a specific compound that has been linked to a variety of mutations, like the formation of a third eye, like in the middle, and blindness in newly formed third eye, blue fingers and blue hair like myself. Like here, like blue hair. Can you see? Okay.
Well, I wish I had known that before I spent money on hair dye.
People are dying, man. It's serious.
Now that the chemical has been linked to the Anastasio Chemical Company, what steps are they taking to remedy this issue?
Well, currently they're being faced with fines from the EPA and are implementing new technology to place into toxic. This technology will clean the water and remove the remaining substances from the lake. If you believe you have been affected from any of these medical conditions, call 1-800-SAD-FACE.
Thank you, Dr. Doctor. Next on the show, we have Max Morrison, a supervisor at the Anastasio Chemical Company. Welcome, Max.
Thank you for having me.
Max, could you tell us your role in this toxic incident? Were there no safety precautions that the company could have taken?
Well, it seems that many of our forklift operators, such as L. Brian Springer, have been taking shortcuts in the disposal process. I've told them many times the correct disposal method, and have preached a safety-first motto, but it seems that they went behind my back. I would have never told anyone to dump the waste and dilute it with water. Don't listen to anyone that tells you otherwise. I'm a true environmentalist, #GoGreen. These actions go directly against the AKI Code of Ethics, and I don't stand for it.
Could you elaborate on which codes of ethics this dumping violates?
I am glad you asked, News Anchor 1. I'm practically an expert on ethics. I'm the most ethical man you will ever meet. This goes directly against codes 1 and 2, which are to hold paramount the safety, health, and welfare of the public and protect the environment, in performance of their professional duties and to formally advise their employers or clients and consider further disclosure if warranted if they perceive that a consequence of their duties will adversely affect the present or future health or safety of their colleagues or the public. Dumping waste that could be considered toxic into the main water source of the public would be a direct violation of Code 1 due to the fact that the health of the public would be harmed during the disposal procedure. Anyone who came into contact with the wastewater would likely be damaged, which is why I, an upstanding citizen, advised against this health-damaging situation. I would have been a good employee and advised my advisor if I had been in that situation, unlike L. Brian Springer. Following the second ethical code, I would have informed my employer if my duty of toxic waste would compromise the health of the public. And just a reminder, don't listen to anyone that says, I told them to dump the waste and dilute it with water. They're a lying communist.
A truly shocking story. I hope the man responsible is found and punished for his reckless behavior. This is News Anchor 1, signing off.
Brian was arrested that day. He lost his college scholarship and his sight. Here's what could have happened if L. Brian Springer took the code of ethics more serious.
Don't do it, bro. Don't do it.
Brian goes to find the CEO of his company to inform them of the atrocious disposal method currently in place at the company.
Hello, CEO Anastasio. I have come to inform you that my supervisor, Max Morrison, just told me to dilute and then dump the coolant. This is against the law, and we could face serious fines, as well as hurt the environment. This practice goes against my code of ethics, and I don't feel comfortable involved in an action that will have such serious consequences.
This is shocking. I had no idea this was going down here in Anastasio Chemical Company. Well, thank you for informing me of this behavior. If Max was an ethical employee, he would have considered public and environment, but he did not. I appreciate you advising me, your employer, of this action. I hope Max will accept responsibility for this action when I confront. I would like to reward your good and ethical behavior. Consider the rest of your college covered. Thank you, Brian.
Due to Brian's ethical behavior, he no longer needs to worry about paying for college and can put all the money he makes as a forklift operator in his retirement fund after being confronted by CEO Anastasio. He throws a fit and does not accept responsibilities for his actions, violating AP Code 3. Max is consequently fired and struggles to find new work. He ends up being on a wastewater team that must clean up the river of the dump coolant.